All right, let's talk about what happens when an officer pulls you over, but he's wrong. Well, generally, an officer can make a mistake when stopping or pulling over a driver for one of two reasons. Number one, a mistake of fact, or number two, a mistake of law. Now, one of these reasons might pass muster in court, and the other, well, that's less certain. Well, let's start with a mistake of fact. That is, when an officer gets the actual facts or circumstances of the event wrong. So imagine a police officer sees your car weaving within your lane of travel on a dark, rainy night. The officer thinks you're weaving outside of your lane of travel multiple times because she has difficulty seeing the lanes and the lane lines on the roadway because of the rain and the reflections that are present on the roadway late at night. So you get concerned. You hire an attorney. The attorney forensically looks at the dash camera, and it appears that you did not travel outside of your lane, but upon closer review, you were actually within your lane of travel. So the officer made a mistake of fact. So then, the important question, is this stop by the law enforcement officer legal? Probably. Courts generally believe that we cannot expect police to be perfect, considering they have to make split-second decisions all the time. So, despite the facts being wrong, the stop of the vehicle is probably legally okay. All right, what about something called a mistake of law? Can a police officer misunderstand the actual law and then still make a valid stop of your vehicle? Well, you would think not, but as always, it's far more complicated than that. In Heehan versus North Carolina in 2014, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled 8-1 on this issue that a police officer's reasonable mistake of law can provide the suspicion required to justify a traffic stop under the Fourth Amendment. The case involved an officer who stopped a car for a broken brake light, even though the state law only required one working brake light. The key is whether the mistake of law was reasonable, and it must be objectively reasonable. Once again, this is a good reason to hire an attorney if you believe the stop of your vehicle was improper.